Okay, so I went to New York like a couple months ago, and it was a total shithole. Like I would not recommend anyone go there. Like I stayed there for a good four, 4 or 5 months, and the only reason I did that was I stayed for that long was because I met this girl who was shouting me coke, and but see she wasn't from New York, she was from California, and that's a nice place. So like I think it has something to do with nice weather and beaches that really, you know, makes the place makes the people better and nicer. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. Anyway, so I'm gonna do this in a top five countdown because I feel like that format for YouTube just gets a lot of hits. Like the amount of dumb shit that I see that's like just gets 1.5 million hits is just completely retarded. You know what I mean? Like, you see like top five cat makeovers or top five celebrities that have a drug problem. And yeah, I don't really understand why people do that. But anyway, so number five, the police are racist. Like, not I'm not really saying that because I've had racism experience towards me. I'm kind of being a social justice warrior here because it was more reverse racism that I experienced being like an Asian dude with an Australian accent. I could really just get away with anything. It was actually retarded. Like I'd be pissing on like a subway platform and the cops would come up and be like, mate, well, no, they didn't say mate, but they're like, what are you doing? And I'm like, oh, man, I don't know. I'm sorry. And you just tell them that, like, you're leaving to 2 weeks and they leave you the right fuck alone. Like, it's actually retarded. So, if you're actually living in that area in New York or America in general, actually, if you just learn a foreign accent, you, actually, I suppose, it wouldn't work because no, it wouldn't work if you're black because like there's no African Australians because we didn't really have slaves here, so that probably wouldn't make sense. Actually, like the other day, man, this chick, I was having a few drinks with mates, man, and this English chick comes on and accuses us of being racist because we don't have black dudes. Like she was like, she was like, man, there's no black dudes in Tinder, and here, you guys are racist, and it's like, that's not our fault that we didn't have slaves. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah, yeah. And it probably won't make sense if you're Mexican as well. Like, yeah, no, yeah. Like a Mexican that spoke with an Australian accent, that wouldn't make sense. But then I have met this Asian dude that spoke with a Jamaican accent. That was really strange. Yeah. But anyway, so where was I? Yeah, number four. Um, Gentrification. Like that was really fucked up. Nothing is what it seems through your cultural identification of things. Like, you go to Greenwich Village and there is no fucking junkies at all. Just a bunch of rich kids in skinny jeans and then fucking big fucking singlet shirts. Is that what you call them? I don't even know, man. Beanies and shit, man. Doing like fucking skateboarding and they can't even like ollie. Yeah, it's fucking retarded. Actually, you go to Greenwich Village and it's just like this is nothing like the Ginsberg novels or Jack Kerouac. Like I know, like I'm fucking some cunt who's like wearing a fucking silk shirt and fucking got his Ray-Bans on. But I read my I've read my Kerouac, or I've read Ginsberg. Like that's what I was expecting from Greenwich, and nothing like that. And you go to fucking Brooklyn, same shit, man. Like nothing like the rap songs of Biggie Smalls, mate. Like it's fucking just gentrified, mate. And I know, like South Park probably already did this, but they're really ahead of the curve. That's why I watch South Park. But yeah, like, Soda Sopa, man, that shit is real. Like, culture is dying in the face of, like, hipsterdom. You know what I mean? But, yeah. Number 3. Fuck. Corporate lying. Yeah. Like, how much shit that, like, that the corporations can tell you and get away with. Like, seriously, I'll be fucking walking down the aisles of, like, Walmart and just thinking, like, you'd be walking down the juice aisle of Walmart and just thinking, like, what fucking fruit is fluoro blue? Like, Kool-Aid is not a fucking juice. Like, yeah. How can you put that in the juice aisle and label it as juice when it's fucking Kool-Aid? Like, yeah. That's not legal in Australia. We have this thing called the ACCC, Australian Consumer Competition Commission. Yeah, Australian Consumer Competition Commission. Yeah, and it's really, like, it has our consumer rights covered. You can't just label shit as juice when it's got no fruit in it. That's a lie. You know what I mean? And, like, once another thing that happened was, like, I was at AT&T. I needed a new SIM card, and fuck, is this shit recording? Oh, it is. Yeah, I was, like, at fucking I was at AT&T getting SIM card, and, like, fuck. Yeah, and I was getting the SIM card, right? And I needed an international package because, like, I needed to call overseas. So they sold me the international package that they had for, like, an extra $20 or something onto my plan. But they didn't tell me it was for landlines only. And that is fucked up. You know what I mean? Like, that's bullshit. How can they do that? Like, who the fuck in 2017 calls a landline? Who the fuck even has a landline in 2017? How can they just sell that to you without telling you the fine print of it all? Surely that can't be legal. But yeah, I couldn't get my money back. That was a crock of shit. Fucking hell. Number 3. Hustlers everywhere, man. Not a good environment. Like, every fuckwit is just trying to get a piece out of you, That's, like, bullshit, Living in that kind of environment is just fucked, that you can't really trust anyone. You know what I mean? Like, for example, man, I was walking down the street, smoking a ciggy, right? This dude comes up. Obviously he, like, was like, like, fucking needed a ciggy, so he asked me for a smoke. I looked at him, man, I was like, oh man, like, whatever. I smoke ciggies, I know what it's like to not have smokes and being, like, unable to afford them. Hand him a cigarette, sweet, whatever. And he was like, man, do you want to try out some coke, bro? Try out some of my coke? And I was like, yeah, man, fuck yeah. And I know this actually, I was talking to my mates afterwards about this, man, and they're like, man, you probably shouldn't have taken coke off some dude off the street. And I was like, maybe there's, like, a bit of cultural gap, because, in Brisbane where I live, like, like, people do actually just shout you lines. Same in Melbourne as well. People just shout you drinks, shout you lines, and it's, like, it's kosher. You don't really expect someone to just fuck you. But yeah, so I tried some of this dude's coke, man, and he was like, alright, that's $40. I was like, what? The going rate for coke is $50 a gram, and you just trying to stooge me for, like, $40 for, like, barely a bump. That's fucked. And he was like, nah, man, like, this is the streets, mate, you gotta pay. I was like, what? And then his fucking homeboys came around from the corner and was like, You know, and this all kind of happened way too fast, man. And suddenly I was like, you know, facing up to like three dudes, and I didn't know if they had guns or not. That's probably another thing that's kind of like, oh shit, like, you know, I can take a beating, but I probably can't take a few bullets. Like, yeah, and that's pretty fucked up. So yeah, I fucking had to end up giving him the cunt $40 for like a fucking bump of coke, man. It was fucked up. Like, you know, I don't even know. Like, anyway. But another thing that happened as well, man. So I was at this gig, like, got kicked out of it. Like, you know, went out for a cigarette, and the dude just fucking wouldn't let me back in again. I can't really hate New York for that, because there's, you know, fuckhead bouncers everywhere in the world. They're actually a fuckwit breed of people. I don't actually understand who would want to be a bouncer unless you've like just like turning people away, or like, you know, just I don't understand that whole career, man. It's just like fuckwits who go to the gym. That's their job. You know what I mean? Like, if you're a fuckhead who just likes working out and likes to be a cunt to cunts, then that's your job. And yeah, bouncers are fucked. Anyway, so yeah, I can't really blame that. But anyway, um, I went to a bar, right? And like, yeah, I went to the bar next door, and these like met some dudes, man. Sat at the bar, got a few pints. Met this. You don't even have pints. So I don't even know what the fuck you call it in America. Like, I don't even know. But anyway, I had a few drinks with these dudes, man. I met. Like, we fucking started chatting up, man. Talked for a good couple of hours, man. Got fucking like real deep, man. Like, this dude was like, man, like, you know, I'm not gay, but I'm trying to do my Hispanic accent. No, that's politically incorrect. Shouldn't do that. But anyway, like, he was like, man, I went to jail, and I'm not gay, but I like, I now have a boyfriend, you know, and and like, I really felt like this dude really opened up to me, and we were really like, you know, building a bond here. You know, like, fucking, he was a real interesting dude. Told him my stories, he told me his stories, really connecting there. You know what I mean? And like, this was for a good, like, you know, I fucking had 4 or 5 drinks with this dude, right? And I was like, man, like, you know, this is fucking, you guys are pretty cool. Alright, how about let's keep this party going? Like, I'll get a fucking couple grams of coke. We'll fucking have a good time. It's gonna be sweet. And so yeah, I was like, man, do you know when I can get a couple of grams of coke off? And it was like, yeah, sure, man. Like, it's probably gonna be $100. My mate will get you the best coke. And I was like, man, this dude's like fucking Hispanic, man. Sure, he's got the best coke. Yeah, I love coke. Anyway, so 10 minutes later, he's like, chuck me the money, man. Chuck me $100. It's $50 a gram. I was like, yeah, sweet. That's what I heard the price was. You know what I mean? Like, this is gonna be good. Gave him $100, and he just fucking legs it. Like, after a couple of hours of like solid fucking bro down, this dude just rips me off, man. He fucking, you know, like, gave me chicken wings and shit, and we like were having a good time. You know what I mean? That's what really cuts me. It's that, like, I I felt like he saw the opportunity was there and just took it. You know, like, I didn't feel like that was a setup, because who the fuck just has a 2 hour drink with someone to rip them off on coke? He didn't even know I was into coke. Like, he, you know, he saw the opportunity and just went for it. And that is a fucked up mentality of New Yorkers. Yeah. You know, like, that's, you know, like, yeah. Okay, so where were we? Fuck. Had some more shit, hey, I swear to God. Um, fuck. Where was I? Mm. Oh yeah. Um, number two. Am I at number two? Yeah, I'm at number two. Every fuckwit thinks he's a fucking entrepreneur. You know what I mean? Like, every fucking fuckwit that's trying to sell anything, man, is like, I'm an entrepreneur. And it's like, mate, you fucking like are lining up for shoes. You know what I mean? Like, or you're fucking selling weed on the corner, man. Like, you can't really. What do you think you're like, fucking Mark Cuban? You know what I mean? Like, that whole thing is retarded. Like, be real. You know, the whole I can understand that if you're like selling anything, you're kind of an entrepreneur, but trying to represent yourself as fucking Kevin O'Leary when you just like fucking some small cunt hustling a few fucking dime bags, it's yeah, that sounds ridiculous to me. Yeah. Okay. Um Number one thing that I fucking hate about New York. Oh, fuck, I don't even have a number one. Do I? Shit. Man, I'm getting too drunk. Fuck. Hmm. Hmm.